Hello everyone, and welcome to another livestream! How are you all doing? Thank you for the 1.5 years, Max. What's up? Welcome back. Thank you, Karen Drakis. Thank you. It's good to be back. It really is. How was your trip? Trip was good. For those who don't know, I went on a little holiday with my brother to from Wednesday, well, Tuesday night, but Wednesday we left the country till Sunday. And we first went to Germany for 2 days, then to France for 2 days, and then back home. Any cool stories? Well, I've seen the tallest waterfalls of Germany, apparently. It isn't like one tall drop, it's like several little drops in a row. Well, a lot of little drops in a row. Hey, thank you for the 2 months, Darky Kitty. Schengen area go brr. Yeah, I've been to 5 countries in 5 days. The Netherlands, Germany, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and now technically in 1 day. Went from France to Luxembourg, to Germany, to Belgium, back home to the Netherlands. On the way back. We only went to Belgium because I missed an exit, but it ended up being quicker anyway. I love geological features. Yeah, the waterfalls were really cool. So that was nice. We saw the world's largest cuckoo clock, which apparently is a thing, like in the Black Forest where I was. The cuckoo clocks are really a big thing, and the world's largest one was there. Like, there's museums and shops selling them everywhere. It's absolutely crazy. And let's see, we made a nice trip there. Nice hike. Then we went to France. We went to, which is really nice, we went to a camping place we've been to a lot as kids, but for the last time 12 years ago. And we're going to be in the area, so we took a look and just, you know, to see it again. And it was nice. It was, well, still pretty much as it was before. I mean, it's a camping place in kind of rural France. I mean, how fast will that change? Not very quick, but it was nice to see with all the memories as kids. And we made a lovely walk in France as well, around a lake called Lac Noir, which means Black Lake. On the other side of the mountain was Lac Blanc, which is White Lake. We also went to Ballon d'Alsace, which is one of the tallest mountains in the Alsace region. It was very nice. I've yet to explore outside of America. Well, I mean, America is massive. So there's a little difference there. So it was about an 8-hour drive back home from France. I drove the first half, my brother drove the second half. But you can be in, like, Montana and drive in a straight line and not leave the state for 8 hours. And Texas is even bigger. And then you got Alaska. So, you know, stuff in America is big. Furthest I've been away from home is either Tenerife, which is off the coast of Morocco, or Corfu, which is off the west coast of Greece. It's an island belongs to Greece. I don't know which is further away, but either of the two. If I drove 8 hours in any direction from here, I would still be in the southeast. I mean, I would still be in the northeast of Europe. I would just be in a different country. Either Germany, Switzerland, or France. Or could also make it to Denmark or the UK, I suppose. But I would need to take a train to get to the UK. Greece. Yeah, I went to Corfu in 2009. We ended up in like a sort of hotel with a lot of Dutch people for some reason. Alright. Now that story time is over. Well, not necessarily over, but main story time is over. Let's get into the game. We didn't finish Extreme Heights last time. So let's continue Extreme Heights, and maybe we'll do something else if we get bored of it. Maybe we'll just continue building. We'll see. Aren't you in the Netherlands? Yes, I am. Northeast. Oh, I meant to say northwest. Directions be not so good. Okay, yeah, we did this last time. We did Mr. Long Queue, which is actually perfectly fine. It doesn't impact our progress at all, because they're still happy because we have Q-Line TVs. And they don't pay for the rides. I mean, there's no money, so we don't lose out on any money because they're in a queue. So everything's fine. I think I remember that queue from Reddit. Yeah, I made a bigger one. I'll show off that. I did this. It's a long queue, you know. It's 13,000 people in a queue line. Drown guest number 4200. I'll do that in a sec when we get back. It's yeah, they look happy. They have entertainers and Q-Line TV, so there's plenty of entertainment. Also, the Giga Coaster has 10.65 excitement, which is quite good. This was done without any cheats, by the way. And how I did this is quite simple. This is the park where we got a lot of guests. We got like 23,000 guests. And this is a trick I've been using for videos as well, to record videos. What I did is I built this ride. Then as you can see, I made it so that the queue line is opposite. Like, so the guests can go straight on to get into the queue line. Like, this is about the perfect position for the queue line entrance to be. And then I just closed every other ride. Then you had 23,000 guests in the park, and they're all heading for one ride. Or leaving the park, like a few thousand left the park. But the others all went for this ride. But I did use one cheat. I made all the guests like prefer intense rides, but that's nothing you could have done. Yeah, I could have done that without cheats as well. So, but yeah, if I did it in the settings beforehand. Other than that, this just works, and they never leave the queue, because it's, you know, they stay in it forever, because entertainers and queue line TVs. Make the Giga Coaster have a single cart, please. I'm afraid it probably wouldn't make the ride anymore. Because friction and stuff, it would be too light. It wouldn't make it. Free them from this queue. No, I don't think I will. But yeah, I've been using this technique as well, because sometimes I just want a full queue line on a ride, but it's in a bit of a deserted area of the park. What I'll do then is I'll close every ride in the park. I'll open the few that are in shot, including obviously the one that's the focus of the shot. And then all the guests will go towards there, and it'll be nicely crowded, and it'll look like every ride in the park is open. But it's a lie. It's an illusion. Yeah, this is an ECCQL. It's very long. What if I do this? Oh my god. That's a lag spike and a half. Ooh, that looks hypnotic. Doesn't it? It kind of looks hypnotic. Only 13k guests. Yeah, it should be possible to get more. Oh, thank you for the 4 months, Juicina. It's kind of oddly satisfying, isn't it? Yeah. Because they're all alternating, like going in alternating directions. It's really neat. It'll take a while before they get out, because they continue walking towards the entrance first, and then they go back. So, here... Also, for some reason, this queue line gives me trouble moving the game around with the... You know, if you press the right button on your mouse, you can drag the game around. But for some reason, the game has trouble with doing that, with this long queue line. But, I can still do it fine with the mouse over the arrow keys. Anyway, let's go back to extreme heights. There we go. Alright, round guest 4200. Now, it's not that max, it's this. 4200. Page 2. Oh, they're not in the park yet. I'll rename one 4200 for you then. Now that's a quality twist chat. Only queues. Fine by me, I just want to see them die. You sadist. You're an absolute sadist. You monster. Do we have staff? We do not. Well, it's been about 1.5 weeks since someone fired all my... I don't have staff to fire! But then I have to wait another 5 minutes before I can hire them. Blaze it. Yeah, are any of you, you know, celebrating 420? I don't, because I don't do drugs. Let's see, where's the one that I want? I want the, yeah, bench warmer. There we go. You're celebrating right now. Nice. How was your week in Germany? Well, it was 2 days, and 2 days in France. But it was nice. Did some cool hikes. Well, hikes, I mean, they weren't that long. Like 6-7 kilometers. It was really nice. Alright, let's build a coaster. Look at me, I'm rich. Well, Abel Graham is, well, was rich. Let's build a hypercoaster. I don't think we have one yet. Exactly what someone who did drugs but was trying to hide it would say. I mean, there's not really much reason to hide using marijuana in the Netherlands. So it's allowed. So, I mean, no one looks down on you. It's not legal. I mean, it's technically sort of not legal, but it kind of is. It's a grey area. If you only have a little bit, you'll be fine. They don't care. Alright, let's make this a scary coaster. Wasteland still hasn't been fixed. Yeah, I don't have staff. That's not my bad. Now, the proper way to do dates is the European way. Which is date first, or a day first, and then month, and then weeks, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, weeks. Me year. Unless you're doing files, obviously, because sorting files and stuff. Is it going to go too fast there? Okay, so 4/20/2022 is fine, but 4/20/2022, no. I think you made a little mistake there, Max. How do you say 20th April 2022? I just say 20 April. Like, that's the Dutch way. We say 20 April and then 2022. Okay, yeah, that's going too fast. Technically, we could say, like, the 20th of April. But that's some, like, some sort of official archaic. Like they would say that in very official stuff. Like, this happened on the 20th of April. Stuff like that. Or even, like, the 20th day of the 4th month in the year of our Lord 2022. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with American number systems, like Imperial, stuff like that. Because, yeah. I don't like Imperial. It's annoying. Specifically for me. I mean, not... It's not like there are people that are annoyed by a lot more than me, but I constantly have to add Imperial numbers to my videos. Because otherwise Americans will complain. Rightfully so. Because it's not your fault that you've grown up with a terrible number system and are now used to it. That makes sense. So, that's fine. It's just that it's still a stupid number system. Five minutes ago, yes, I can hire staff again. And I'll hire a lot of them. That thing at the top left, all those windows, remind me of like Spider Solitaire when you win that. Alright, 200 mechanics. Fix all the rides! th of April is also the birthday of a guy we might not be allowed to say. Wait, Hitler? Is it actually Hitler's birthday? I mean, that if you say guy we're not allowed to say, that's the first name that pops in my mind. Endless money. Yes. Kazulu, thank you for the follow. Ah, drink some water. I'll drink some water. Yeah, 1889. I believe both Hitler, Coca-Cola and Nintendo started in the same year. Which would be 1889. I say both and then I named 3 things. That's not very proper English. My counter-argument to the imperial system being stupid: you need to think harder to convert between units and metrics so it actually makes you smarter. Now, I could do the Reddit thing and say, look at your average American, and then think again about them being smarter. So, but I'm not going to do that, because Americans aren't stupid. It's funny how, because I spend way too much of my time on Reddit, I have a lot of opinions on what people say on Reddit, but that's not how people behave in real life, and sometimes I get a little bit too angry about how people behave on Reddit. I suppose what people say there does have effect. It's, you know, it still affects people, still affects how they think. So it's probably still a good thing to care about at least a little. As an American, yes we are. No, you aren't. Maybe you're a little less educated than a Dutch guy because your high school system, your schooling system is worse. But it doesn't make you stupid. I don't know if that's actually true, by the way, but that might be true. Speaking of old companies, I recently learned that Mack Ride started as a stagecoach builder in 1780. Ooh, maybe that's why there's a stagecoach ride in Rollercoaster Tycoon. The expansions. The internet makes it easier than ever for stupid people to announce their stupidity to the world. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know what saying I hate? You know, we're talking about stupid people. One that I see often on, well, Reddit again. Is that people say, imagine the average person, and now consider that half of all people are stupider than that. People on Reddit tend to have an extremely low, like think that the average person is quite stupid, which I don't agree with. Ask a geography question. In what year was the oldest still functioning roller coaster made? I don't know. It's also not a geography question. I mean, please use it for the right things. You can also just ask it. And I have no idea, probably 1700s or whatever. I'm just kind of keep on building, by the way. And it's become pretty long now. Yes, that is what she said. There we go. It's a hypercoaster, so the stats will be fine, probably. Let's see, we came from 25.5 here, which we had not that much speed left over. Well, now it's apparently that's what he said, because it's quoted on me. Going to the theme park on Saturday. I'm hype. Well, I hope you have fun. That's a lot of drops. It is. It is indeed a lot of drops. I like drop. Drop is good, especially salty drop. Now all the non-Dutch people have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's make a nice long queue line. Why are there 2 butts emotes? Wait, are there 2? Cool. I thought I only did 1. But we need the shiny butts emote. It's the best emote. Okay, so for those who don't know, drop is the Dutch word for licorice. And licorice is good. Alright, let's fast forward the chain a bit because it takes forever. I might need to expand the station to have a 3rd train because terrible throughput. Also, it's quite likely that somewhere... I think I messed up the laterals there. We'll see. If I need to correct it somewhere. Probably do. Okay, I want a 3rd train. I'll just do this. There we go. And now I need to test again before I can see if I need to change the laterals. Looks like one of the bed emotes is a follower emote, so everyone that follows can use it, not just subs. Ah, oh that's fine. Butts are universal. Good chance that I won't be I won't be here on Sunday and next week Wednesday. Yeah, because you're going on holiday. I must admit, I forgot where to, but I hope you have fun. Okay, let's see. No, the laterals are fine at 2.77, surprisingly. It's pretty good stats. 847, 895. I mean, I do need to say it. A Twister would have had much better stats. Or even a Giga. But for a Hypercoaster, this isn't bad. This take almost 3 minutes to ride. It's 1 or 2 kilometers long, but... yeah, that's a good coaster. How many guests does this have in queue now? 2200. It keeps improving. Let's make it a little shorter. Let's change this. Let's also do more trains, because we don't need the longest... Whoops, I just got rid of the entire queue. Well, that's fine. Guests can now ride other rides. They deserve to. This isn't about that anymore. I mean, I already did 13,000 anyway. Ooh, red. I like this. This red and white. It looks nice. In the green trees and the black bottom, black ground. Black bottom is something else. Should we get a black bottom emoji? Thank you for the follow, Flickspy. White or black? Or grey? I think black is the best. Ah, that's good. Imagine waiting there for 10 years, finally it's almost your turn. Just one more person in front and then the ride closes. Isn't that the ultimate Disney experience? Now guests are going to suddenly complain about the crowded park. They might. Let's see if they do. It's too crowded here, 500 guests. Yep, you're absolutely right, they do. That's pretty extreme. Yeah, this is even extreme or extremely extreme heights. Now that's a mouthful. Ah, let's see what this looks from other angles. It's always funny, because I built it from this angle and it looks like almost one thing. But if you look from other angles, that thing at the top is very, like, not at all connected to the same spaghetti bit. It's very different. And from this angle it looks much better. And now we're getting about 100 extra guests because I built this thing. And we still need to build even more to get to 4,500 guests. Pick a coaster type for me to build. Well, perfect timing. It's one of these 15 different types. Do we have a Woody yet? Well, no, but we don't have it available. So, we do have a mine train coaster, by the way. It's over here. What's the longest non-monotone coaster ever made? I don't even know what a monotone coaster is. More like when there's a lot of different elements, not just one theme says go up. You mean like longest normal roller coaster? I don't know. Depends on your definition of normal, I suppose. Vertical drop, make it extreme. Alright. Also, ask a geography question, which we haven't seen yet. Oh, you mean monotone, not monotone. Ah, my laptop's having internet problems again. Good. That's obviously not good. Probably fix itself in a minute. Name a country, part of a country that has a time zone quarter time. That's Nepal, right? I believe... Or was it North Korea? No, North Korea I think was half hour. It was still different. It was half hour. Alright, that's high enough. I still need to get 2 screens. So I won't have this problem again. What's the capital of Turks and Caicos Islands? I have no idea. I'm looking at the chat now, by the way, on my computer via OBS streaming. Every now and then, while I'm also building every now and then. Oh, there we go. The internet on my laptop works again. Good. I don't know why I keep putting off buying 2 screens for so long. But I've been putting it off for a long time now. Alright, this is a big drop. It's Cockburn Town. Oh, that reminds me of like the capital of Texel, an island of the Netherlands, is the Koksdorp. Because it's a lot of money to spend at once. That's not a problem. I have the money. That's perfectly fine. I mean, I recently spent a lot on the holiday, so it's fine. It's just that I don't know, it's a thing, you know, I need to install them and stuff, and never worked with a second monitor before. So we need to, you know, make that work. Just, you know, stuff I would need to make work. But it's probably not very difficult. What type of graphics card do you have? Intel i7 something, I believe. I don't know. I looked at it, you know, got some information about that stuff when I needed it, because when I bought the computer and then I forgot. We're below 700. Wait, are we? Hang on. What's wrong? Hang on. Oh, 700 people want to go home. Well, then go home. Okay, so the problem is they're still in the queue line, leaving the queue line. And they want to go home. But the queue line is so long. They'll be able to go home. It's a short walk from here to the entrance. They'll leave in time, I hope. We're gonna lose a lot of guests. But that's fine, because we're building slowly, and they'll return while we're building the other coaster we need for the soft guest cap. Also, thank you, Cody, for the 14 months. What's up? Look at your stats. Yeah, I know it's the 700 people that want to go home. Let's see. Where is it? Inspect park rating at the top. Yeah, minus 3,000 from guests that are lost or want to go home. Lol. Any of those punks whining about being lost in the queue? I can make that work. Oh wait, these are queuing. These are not lost. These are lost. There you go. Thank you for the follow. Standard Sumo 987. Can the same guest ever come back to the park, or did they just get sort of obliterated on the map? Yeah, they get obliterated. They die. You know, as they deserve. Would you go on this ride? Isn't it family friendly? Wait, that reminds me of a video someone recently made. It features me. Go watch Cody's video on family friendly coasters. What's the northernmost settlement with a permanent population of 1,000? Probably some in the high Arctic. Like the high Canadian Arctic or whatever. I wouldn't know. Ilakit? Nah, probably northerner. Park rating is still below 700. Or, yeah, I can't fix that. I only have 2 weeks. I think we're screwed. Honestly, we might actually be screwed. Maybe it's a better idea to kill them all. I don't know. Maybe that is truly a better idea. Oh, it's Longyearbyen. I should have thought of that. What city do you think is the oldest one in the Netherlands? Nijmegen or Maastricht? I think it's Nijmegen. I think Nijmegen is pretty old. I think it's too late to kill them now. But I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, this queue line is too long. There's one terrible city in Russia. Norilsk. Yeah, but that's not that northern. Like, it's quite northern. And it's very cold there because it's far away from... Ooh, it just about makes that. That's neat. Look at this. Isn't that neat? Yeah, it is on Svalbard. Someone just said it's Longyearbyen. Why must Maastricht be older than Nijmegen? Because it's more southern. Like, it's only about 100 kilometers or so. It's not like that's a meaningful difference in people arriving there for the first time. How long do you have until you lose? About 8 or 9 days, I think. And these guys are still leaving the queue. Well, this guy is not bothered. He's just heading for Iced Tea Stall 1. They still haven't... I thought some were nearing the exit of the queue, but apparently not. Like, where are all the guests that are leaving? Hang on, I want to go home. Where are they? Yeah, they're still in the queue. You can see the queue lighting up. They're never going to leave on time. That's a problem. I never thought this would be a problem. Yeah, this park rating is not going to recover in time. Because it takes them forever to leave the queue line. Yeah, technically I could pause the park and move them all one by one and not lose, but I was going to say I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay, so yeah, we failed. Okay, and I've opened the park again. I can still past the park if I just use a little cheat for that. Should have temporarily shortened the queue to let them leave faster. Yeah, but I didn't realize that would have been a problem. Thank you for the sub, King Larry 7. Will they ever leave the queue actually? Does the pathfinding allow them to navigate it all the way back? There is no pathfinding to be done. It's one straight path without any, like, junctions or something. So, they'll find the exit. It's just that the queue line is so long that it takes them forever to walk it. In the meantime, we're still building this awesome coaster. Yeah, probably won't make this, but oh, let's see. Does it have enough speed? Looks like pathfinding may also screwing you. Well, the problem is that whenever a ride closes, the guests continue walking forward until they reach the entrance building, and then they go back. So it takes them forever to leave this queue. But sometimes guests will randomly turn around because they feel like they're going too far from destination, won't they? I don't think so. I believe that is only possible at junctions. A junction can be something like a stall being next to a straight path, then the stall creates a junction. Or like an exit path or an entry line. Like this, for example, is 2 junctions in a row. Because the queue line also creates a junction. So it might seem like you turn around for nothing, but as far as I know, they can't randomly turn around. Is there also a very long exit? No, it's just the queue line that's long, because I wanted to see how many guests I could get in the queue. I still don't know if it makes this, because didn't pay attention. Okay, it does make that. Good. I think they can turn around after they pause and play the animation that goes with thinking I'm lost. Oh, maybe. But they do seem to all be heading in the right direction, though. Like, some are heading in the other direction, but those are just actually queuing. So that's fine. It just takes them a while. Guests can't find anywhere to buy food. Yeah, you see, that's the same problem. Some of these guests are wanting to buy food, but it takes them so long to walk out of the queue line that it registers like they can't find anything. So, note, whenever you have an absurdly long queue line, if there are a lot of people in it, and you close it, it's gonna give a lot of issues. Now we know. And as I said before, I would never have expected that to give issues. Maybe the old limit was there for a reason. It definitely was there for a reason, but probably not that reason. Alright, let's return this thing to the station. Oh, we're right there. Oh, we'll just do that. We'll have some nice white S-bends. Or as I like to call them, S-bends. In the Efteling at the Droomvlucht you had a Unox food stand, at least during the winter. They keep making the Droomvlucht faster. It feels more like a roller coaster now. I don't think I've ever been on it. But maybe I have, I don't know. I've been to the Efteling, but that was a long time ago. That last turn is a little bit extreme, but it's fine. As long as it doesn't go faster than 100, which actually maybe it does. We'll see. Alright, let's pick a nice paint job. Oh yeah, that's a juicy color scheme. Love that. Yellow always does well with this kind of stuff. That's a great color scheme. I'm so glad I got to catch a live stream. Been watching your Roller Coaster Tycoon video since the end of the last year. Well, welcome, Andiru. Okay, 172 kilometers per hour. Nice. And 4 kilometers per hour at the top. It might actually sometimes not make it. Then it'll crash and everyone will die. Which is fun. Oh, I love the way this looks, this hill. Oh, that's a good top hat. Okay, that last turn is definitely an issue. It's going too fast. It's giving excessive laterals. And we can't have that. We're just gonna do that instead. No, not that. There we go. Lac Noir and Lac Blanc look really nice. Looks a bit like Lac Pavin near Clermont-Ferrand. I've never been there. Well, the second two places you mentioned. But yeah, they were really nice. There was like a circular hike around the Lac Noir, which we did. And the first half was all walking upwards. And that was kind of tough for me. It was about 400 meters. We gained about 400 meters of elevation, which is about 1,300 feet. From about 900 till 1,300 meters. We also went the same elevation back down, of course. Because we ended up where we started. But yeah, that was a tough climb. It was a nice one, though. Yeah, the guests are finally making it out, which is good. Yeah, they're all leaving in droves now. Which is exactly what we need. Because that'll relieve our park rating of its zeroness. How long was the path to get from 900 to 1,300 meters height? I believe the entire hike was like 6 kilometers, so probably like 2.5. 2.5 kilometers. I don't know exactly. Yeah, they're all leaving the queue line now. Oh, they can't get to the entrance. Whoopsie. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, reasonably steep. It was. And my physical abilities aren't the best. Surprisingly, I didn't get any like muscle aching from that. Last time I did something like that, I did get a lot of it. But I must have been lucky. Alright, that's enough for the queue line. We'll continue that to somewhere else later. I haven't looked at the stats yet. Maybe they're extreme stats. I hope not. Oh, extreme excitement would be nice. Oh, 862, 960 intensity, which is pretty good. And 449 nausea. 6.19 positive Gs. That's not dangerous at all. Hit us with some sweet, sweet speed skating trivia. Well, I've spent a lot of time today working on my program that makes a lot of like a database and then makes a lot of lists for me. This time I worked on the algorithm for making the list of the fastest combinations ever. Like the person who skated the fastest combination of a 500 and 1,000 meters at one competition. And all possible 2 distance and 3 distance combinations. And that's probably the most spaghetti code I've ever written. It has a function that's more than 100 lines long of just for loops and if statements mostly. At some point, I'm 7 for loops deep. And not only that, if you count the function that calls that function, at some point I'm 12 for loops deep. Because that function itself also has 5 for loops. That sounds fun when you are later looking at it again. I hope you did comments. I did not do any comments, but I do tend to... Like, I use very descriptive variable and function names. So, I should comment, but they're also, like, my code is somewhat good, you know, fairly easy to read, because my function names and variable names are really descriptive. Like, for example, when I had when I split the new entry into its parts, like there was a long string of consisting of several parts, and I split them, I just called it new entry split instead of like NES, which someone might do to abbreviate it. I don't do those abbreviations. I end up with quite long variable and function names, but at least they're clear. What language? Java. When it's finished, I can show you the code. I mean, I can show the code now. Yeah, why not? Let's take a look at it. Because that'll be nice. Currently loading it up. I remember a mountain I hiked up in Ireland, Croagh Patrick, going from a few meters above sea height to 700 meters, with the path being just about 1300 meters long. That's very steep. Let's see. Java. Is this it? Yes. Alright, there you go. Let's get rid of that. This is my code, which, I mean, if you don't have context, it's probably quite difficult to understand anyway. But basically, there is this function, because I have a database, and it first goes to all the seasons. Then within every season, it goes through all the categories, which is like World Cup competitions, or World Championships, or Dutch competitions, or Japanese competitions, etc. Then it goes within every category through every competition. Then within every competition through every gender, which is, well, at most 2, and at least 1. Then within every gender, it goes through every distance. And then it puts every distance through this function. Well, most of this is disabled now because the other 4 work, so I don't need to test them anymore. It's just testing. But it will put them through all these functions, all these classes, just to create the lists. Because the idea is that when I add a new distance to my database, it just checks all the lists. So it goes through all these. Can you demonstrate? Yeah, hang on. I'd have to share my entire screen for that, which is fine. Hang on. There we go. This is the one I need. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so I have a database. And let's see, if we go to, this is the program, skating stats, what I call it, what I'm called on Twitter. And then we go to, yeah, we have a database. And only competitions so far. Then only one season. Then we have international championships and World Cups. And for example, here we have the Olympic Games. We go to men. And then this is the 500 meters. So this is all the result of the 500 meters at the Olympic Games this year. So it's name, country, season, date, competition. Like they're already there in the file, in the folder names, but it's useful to have them here as well. Then location, opener, like this is the split times, and then we have the lap times, and then last is the pair. Like you can see it a lot better in like the 1500. First you get the split times, which there are 4 of at 300 meters, 700 and 1100. Why aren't you using an SQL database? Because I don't know how to. I've never used that. I don't know how they work. Maybe I still can, but I'm now quite deep into this. So it works fine. It's a lot of files. And then, for example, here we have the European Single Distance Championships, the Women's 1500 meters and all that. Look into that. The basics aren't all that hard, but SQL is so much more suited for this. It probably is. But I would need to rewrite all that code. Probably, which is a lot of work. I put so much effort into this already. Anyway. The idea is to create a lot of lists. I already have these lists, but I did it by hand. I want to do this all automated. And for that, for example, we have, let's see, in the list, hang on. Oh yeah, I would need to run it first. So let's do that. And then that. I don't want to run the last one, because at the moment we're in an infinite loop and I don't know how to fix that. I mean, I can find the bug, but I'm not doing that on stream because it's probably going to take a while. And we get a little interface. Do analyze. Analyze all files. Might take a while. Oh, there we go. That wasn't that long. Let's see what we got. So the idea is that we then go to lists. For example, these are the fastest 100 meters skated. Well, this is incorrect. There's a lot missing here. I don't know what went wrong there. It's not all working quite yet. But that's the idea, that we get the fastest, the 25 volt 30, but there's a buffer. 25 fastest 100 meters skated. This would be the 25 fastest. I know what's going on. It's only taking the European Single Distance Championships and the 4 Continents Championships for some reason. That's why it was so quick as well. It's probably here because I did some stuff here. Let's see. Can I quickly see what went wrong there? I don't think I can. Maybe if I change that or remove that, but that was all commented out, so that shouldn't make a difference. But you know, sometimes stuff that shouldn't make a difference still does. Yeah, it's the showcase phenomenon. If you showcase, it always goes wrong. Or when it goes wrong, you get your parents and you you're like, what just go wrong? My computer doesn't work, and then it suddenly does work. Stuff like that. Alright, let's run it again. Let's see what happens. I think it took a little bit longer now. Okay, now that didn't work. Now we just have everything double, which is what I expected. Well, I'll need to look into that then. I don't know what went wrong. Maybe it's... I mean, it's only taking 2 competitions. It's only taking... let's see. It's only taking the first 2 of this. For some reason. It's not taking the others. And I don't know why. Let's see. So it's only doing this for loop twice probably. For some reason. Or no, that would be this for loop probably. Well, I don't know what the problem is. It was working fine when I tested it earlier with just this one. Did you escape from code during testing? No, it shouldn't be. I don't think I skipped some code here. This is the function that does all that. It's a lot of stuff. Let's see if the other stuff worked. If we go lists, for example, national records. Did it take those? No. Those aren't the fastest either. It only took those 2 as well. So it goes for all the functions. But yeah, this is where we're at some point 7 for loops deep. Because it's basically, it looks for combinations over 3 different distances. So you have one distance, for example 500 meters. Then I look for all the 1000 and 1500 meters in the same competition. And then you have to check if, for example, for every skater, you have to check if they're also skated in the other one. And there's a lot of checking. That's why you get all the for loops. Like, for example, this is checking if the skater you're currently checking from the new data is also in one of the other distances you're combining with. And then this bit is for the older distance you're combining with. So it's just a lot of checking. And that's what makes all the complicated code. I mean, this one was easy. This is also one of the lists like that I do. This was very easy. It was quite a breather, but this one was the most complicated I did so far. Drink some water. I will. But yeah, it might be a really good idea to look into SQL, because I say I've been into this a long time, but in hindsight, I haven't been working on this that long, like maybe a month. So it's not that long. And I want to make this into something big. So it's probably a good idea. Yeah, I don't really need big O notation, because like the first time I'm going to run this, it's going to take a while, because currently my database is quite small. I only added a few competitions just so that I can test this stuff. I'm going to add a lot more later. But when I eventually it just runs every time when I add a new distance, but one new distance doesn't take a very long time. Hey, something crashed. Oh, it's the compact inverted coaster that crashed. Also, the park rating is still low. Huh. Well, it'll be fixed at some point because it's still broken. Ah, it's already being fixed. SQL wouldn't be too hard from a conversion. The logic can basically remain the same, just loading it into memory changes. Yeah, probably. How many people died? Oh, maybe that killed the rating. Let's see if it did. Nah, rating was still low. 4 people died. Oh, that's not that much anyway. Crashed in a safety cutout. Yeah, because there was a train stuck on the chain lift for that, and another train crashed into it, because the chain lift's at the end. With an SQL database, you wouldn't need to write any code. You just define objects, relations between objects, and enter data. Then you can query for anything. Well, it's probably a little bit more complicated than that. Because, for example, these combination records, like the data I enter isn't necessarily all the data I look at. Because the data I enter, this isn't in the data I enter. This is all calculated. This is all calculated from the data that I enter. Because the data is just results of distances. And this is like combinations. And getting the combinations, a lot of this code is just to calculate what all the combinations are. And for example, update national records. Like, can you in an SQL database, like if you have, if you have a lot of this kind of data, like database, competitions, find out this one, like this data, you have the country, and for the national records you need the fastest time from every country that's in there. Does that work? It probably does. It's probably more extensive than I realize. Probably would need a lot of relations between different objects. But like, I would still need to write some kind of code to, like, to quantify that it needs to, like, to tell it that it needs to do this, right? It's not that trivial. Yeah, it would be a non-trivial query, but it can certainly do that. Because the easy thing I find about these files is that I can just easily look into them myself as well. You can probably still do that in SQL. You would need to define relations and then create queries to get certain results. Yeah, but what I also like... The thing is, I need to have these lists. The reason I need to have these lists, like, available, saved somewhere, and this is just text, is so that I have them and I can render them later. Somewhere, you know, to view them. Because the point is to get these lists ultimately on the website so people can look. Oh, what's the fastest? 500, 1000, 1500 meters on skated on low altitude. That's what this list is. By men. And then just view this list. You know, I would write some code to render this all nicely and stuff. I'll definitely look into this, but it's not as simple as just getting queries, because that would take a long time every time. Yeah, the problem is with creating a query that creates the list is that it takes forever. Like, I don't want people to need, or myself even, to need to wait 2 minutes. SQL is blazingly fast. Even if you need to have a sorted list of the 50 fastest 100 meters and you have like thousands of 500 meter openers or 500 meters in your database, thousands, maybe even 10,000. That's no problem. Oh, okay. You can use JavaScript or PHP or something to read in an SQL database and bring it into wherever you're displaying it. Huh, I'll look into that. In the meantime, SQL is used in things where millions of data entries are used. Okay, that's fair. I'll look into that. The thing I like about this is that it's super customizable, of course, because I'm literally writing my own code. SQL is probably really customizable as well. You see, I don't know anything about SQL. I can help you a bit if you want, but I would first need to learn the basics. Which is a whole thing. And for that, I'd probably look at, I don't know, YouTube tutorials or whatever. It might slow down when you get more than 1 million entries. Well, I probably don't get more than 1 million. Are you customizing your MySpace page? Not really. Alright, let's get back to Rollercoaster Tycoon. Also, let's get the text back. Scenario goal. Are you a light mode user or a dark mode user? Mixed, actually. I use dark mode... Well, you just saw I use dark mode on IntelliJ. I use dark mode on Twitter, but I use light mode on Reddit. Yeah, MySpace is a bit before my time. Okay, so why is the park rating still terrible? Let's see if I can figure it out without inspecting the park rating. Okay, 172 people are still lost. Oh, they're walking in the queue line incredibly slowly because they have no energy. Yeah, where? Hang on, where is this guy? Oh, it's this guy. And he is walking in the right direction. Like, he is currently leaving the queue line. It's just taking him forever. And lost guests really impact the park rating harshly. Like, really harshly. And it's taking forever for him to leave at this speed. Because he's tired. Darn, another punk who won't leave the queue. Well, I'll drown this punk. Goodbye. Maybe there's a good reason the queue limit was 1,000. Yeah, although that would not have solved this. I mean, this was 2,200 guests in a queue. 1,000 would still have given major issues. Hey, the park rating is actually going up slightly. Cool. Let's see, inspect park rating. We only have minus 700 from lost guests. Oh, now it's minus 900 again. Oh, maybe it wasn't minus 900 and I misread it. Was there one guy tanking the rating? Oh, they're slowly leaving. Still, just they're very slowly leaving. Like this fella. They're very slowly leaving. Gateway to Necromancy has broken down. That's a hell of a name for a ride. I believe it was this one. Yeah, Gateway to Necromancy. Ah, you named that one. It's an appropriate name. How many guests has this had now? 2,616. That's nice. Yeah, so the SQL thing, like, I'm thinking about it now a lot, because I'm like, did I really waste all this time when I could have done it so much easier? That's basically my thinking at the moment. Oh yeah, I need to connect this. This is still a dead end. Although, you know, I did learn a bit more about Java and stuff, so practice is never a bad thing. It's never a waste if you learn and have fun. Well, at least I learned, like, more about how my lists work and what makes them tick, I suppose. But yeah, I would need to. It would be really nice for indeed when I have some custom. Because I was thinking, if I want some custom lists, I would need to code them, which wouldn't be very difficult. We just copy some code that I already use somewhere else and modify it a bit. But if we could just do it in SQL with a query, that would be a lot easier. Can't you make a shortcut through the queue line? I could, but I'm not going to. They will suffer. I mean, that is the way it always is in coding. Later you're more experienced in the language you are doing. Yeah, that's true. May I show you a ride I did? The next version of your corkscrew ride. I mean, you can post it in the Discord. People can see it there. Corkscrew, that's actually what I used to call it when I was young. Okay, so we have a path now here, which is nice. Let's make a few stalls here. I've learned quite a bit even from just working on OpenRCT2 in the past months. Yeah, you probably gained quite a bit more insight into how the game actually works. And maybe you've learned something that you can use actually when playing the game. And I've been using things in Java that I haven't used before. I don't really remember anything on the top of my head, but there's been like functions and stuff. And oh yeah, I have a utility class for the first time now. I haven't had that ever before, I think, which is useful. And if anything, it was just a reminder of how things work. Because the last time I did any real coding in Java was about, well, more than a year ago, I think, actually. Like, there's a program I have which I add a little bit to every now and then, but that's just expanding one list. That doesn't count as actually coding. That's just making a game I made a little bit more expensive. Okay, there we have some of that. Let's do bench warmer. There we go. And let's see. What coaster shall we build? Which don't we have yet? Oh, we don't have a multi-dim yet. Do we? No, we don't. Let's build one. By the way, one of the most annoying things for my program with speed skating, which will always stay a problem, whether I use SQL or not, or SQL or whatever, is the input, actually getting the database. Like, this is a lot of complicated functions that I just showed you, but once they're done, they work, and it's fine, and I know they work. But the input is annoying, because I'm getting my lap times and stuff from loads of different websites, which all have them formatted differently. I mean, there are even some lap times that I only have in a booklet, like that someone sent me. Someone from the speed skating forum sent me, because I wanted them. Couldn't find them anywhere online, because they're quite old. They're from like 2000. So we need to enter those manually. But I want to kind of automate it, but every website does it differently. So I would need to make some kind of program for every website that can read it when I copy it. Like when I copy the website into something, what I'm doing now is I'm copying the contents of the website into a notepad file. And then I have a function that can read it. Like, I just need to call the right function that can read from that particular website and makes it into the format I'm using for everything. And then you also have the problem, not only that, but of different name spellings. For example, Czech speed skater Martina Sablikova is sometimes, on her last name, she has 3 accents on 3 of the 4 vowels, the 2 A's and the I. But sometimes they're omitted. Like, I know the website of Calgary omits them. But if that's omitted, and then I for example, need to check for her combinations and stuff, and her fastest 5,000 meters, the way I check that is so that, you know, someone doesn't get in the list twice from the fastest skaters on the distance. I check if the name is already in the list. But if the name's spelled different ways, it doesn't see that. SQL has a function like that you probably take care of that. Yes, but then you have the problem that there are sometimes 2 different skaters who have very similar names. Or even the same names. And other websites differentiate between them by putting birth years behind their names. Like you have Ruslan Zakharov with 19... Like you have Ruslan Zakharov 1986 and 1993 or something like that. And then you also have the problem of, like, I don't know if like can take care of that when you have, like, for example, Russian names which are transliterated differently depending on the language. From a Dutch side, Pavel Kulishnikov is translated differently. It's transliterated for Dutch speakers than on an English side. So that's probably, like, getting all the data is probably one of the most annoying, gonna be one of the most annoying things. And it's also gonna be mistakes in the data. Like sometimes the lap times aren't registered properly, or the split times, you get crazy lap times. Like in my data I had like a 2-second lap over 400 meters. Because some of the split times were bonkers. And when I noticed that, I just removed the split times and I'll just have no split and lap times for that particular time. It's fine. But when I don't notice, then it's going to be annoying. Yeah, we're slowly getting a park rating again. It's at the halfway mark, because guests are actually leaving the park. We only have 100 now that want to go home. It took forever. It took almost a year, well, about 6 months. And remember, a year is only 8 months. This isn't really multidimensional, is it? It has one twist, so it fulfills the inversion requirement. But other than that, it's basically a normal coaster that I'm building, because I'm distracted and building it like I've been building all these other coasters. Drink some water, I will. It's gonna be problematic, yeah, but though you could still make the birthday also part of the identifying keys. Well, I don't have a birthday so far. Like I was planning to make skater profiles, but they wouldn't be including the birthday. But I would just change the full name to, like, have... Because that's what other sites do. They just change the name to have the year in the name. The birth year. I haven't seen yet what they do when they have 2 people born in the same year with the same name. But that's quite rare anyway. Wouldn't you have lost the game if the park rating was that low for that long? I have. I have totally lost the game. You have filled your objective, but I just reopened the park with a little cheaterino. Because I wanted to keep playing. Alright, let's get back to the station. And then we shouldn't go down there. We can do another inline twist. We can actually stay upside down for a little bit. Show me the way home. I will. Well, I am currently showing you the way home. Oh, we unlocked a rotor drop. That's actually a good one, because it can be intense. Can we do a photo section? We can. And then inline twist. Lol, we just heard, like, out of the corner of our ears, this Giga Coaster whiz by. Look at Xak. They're rich. Maybe I need to increase the price of it to 20k or something. Maybe 10k isn't enough. By the way, the channel's been doing really well lately. Like last week or so, I've been getting a lot of views. Like my standard on days that I don't upload videos is maybe like 25,000 or so. We're at double that currently. Like old videos are getting a lot of views again. I'm happy with that. like 2 more people showed off that they're rich. We have too many rich people. We need to tax the rich. Ooh, that's a groovy rock style. There's only a lot now because people have a lot saved up. That is true. I feel like I'm using a lot of the same color schemes a lot of the time. Like, I overuse yellow trains a lot. I don't know what it is, but I really use yellow trains way too often. And I don't really know why. Still 60k left. Yeah, but you, Kengi, are one of the most... Well, you're one of the long-time members. Like, active people. But you're also very active. So it makes sense that you're one of the richest. I overuse pink tracks. I never really use... Well, that's not true. Sometimes I use pink. I did it here. But I don't use them that much. Max has more. Yeah, but trying to compete with Max is insanity. Truly is. Okay, let's see what the stats of this baby are. Looks fine. We don't have the intensity yet, of course, but looks fine. 722, 905, 816. That's pretty good. Do I have any channel points? Yes. I do. If so, how ungodly many? It's not really possible to quantify it, really. It's infinity. I'm not joking. There's a little infinity sign next to channel points for me. Like, let's see. There we go. Can I do that again? And do it again. And again. And again. And again. And again. I can keep doing that. You could do it too, yeah, if you refund yourself, but I don't need to refund myself for that. Fire all my staff. Alright, part rate is going up. You wanted to see it going down again. This is taking a while anyway. You know what I should do? I should hire so much staff that by the time the 5 minutes are over, I'm still firing handyman, and then I can just rehire again. Wouldn't that be a perfect solution? Ground guest 366. If they're still in the park, probably not, but we'll see. They are. Not for much longer. We have a little drowning pool here for them. Genius. Well, the problem is that would take a very long time. That would probably take around about, I don't know, 20,000 staff members or whatever, and that lags a lot. If you didn't use the autoclick, you'd probably be close. No, if I didn't use the autoclicker, I wouldn't have that much staff, because I also hired them with the autoclicker. Do you like coasters in real life? I do. It's been a while since I've gone to... Oh, these are still on no entry. That's not good. It's been a while since I've gone to a theme park, partly due to the big sea. But I do like coasters. Let's see, what else? What else? We could build an epic Giga Coaster. Huh. Look at that. Now it looks just... Now it's a lot of white and also red from the Q-line TVs. You zoom out once more and suddenly it's only green, the Q-line. Because you don't see the fence or the TVs anymore, apparently. That's interesting. The Big C, do you mean the Woo Flu? Yes, I do. Created by Aunt Woo from Avatar. Alright, let's create an epic Giga Coaster. We'll have an epic station here. With an epically long station for epic much trains. I'll have an epically long booster. Now, we won't have an even bigger queue line. There are quite a few people stuck behind the slow fella here. Like, there are still 500 people in this queue line. It doesn't seem like that, but because it's so long, it does add up. Is it going too fast here? Let's see, how fast is it going there? Okay, 180, that's good. Then more. More. That's probably fast enough. Let's go up. Okay, I'm gonna stay a little bit lower because of terrain differences. More. Give me more, daddy. And we go down. I can't go down too much. I need to go up again. I think the G's will be fine here. Let's see. I wish the thing had vertical turns, because they don't give any G's. Yeah, the G's seem to be fine there. Other than that, I'll just remove a few boosters. Now this is an extremely extreme Giga Coaster. It's going very, very fast. Extra thick. And some more boosters, why not? And then we'll do some more turns. This is a very extreme. This will definitely have more than 10 excitement, by the way. Your spine has left your body. That's fine. That's spine. Alright, let's go in the ground. For an even longer drop. And we'll go up again. Kids these days. That's probably a quote from either I said it sarcastically or I said something like, I never really say kids these days. And someone quoted it. That someone would be Max, presumably. And boosters. We're not going fast enough anymore. We need more of them boosters. Like, we're only going 148 there. That's not fast enough. This thing is going to have a very high average speed. If I remember correctly, you actually said it legit. Might have been. Maybe like kids these days getting an iPad when they're 4 or whatever. Maybe. I'm not really a bitter old man, but sometimes I do show symptoms. Rarely, though. Never can have too many boosters. Doesn't matter how fast it goes. I totally agree with that. More. This is the fastest Giga Coaster in the country, baby. Are you sure this isn't Death Park? Well, no one's died here yet. I mean, drownings don't count, so we're perfectly fine. Let's go in the ground again. And voila, -9 meters. 4 people died on that crash. That doesn't count. Just a crash. Okay, to give your spine a little bit more exercise, we'll go like that. Ah, isn't that gonna be fun? At 230 kilometers per hour. Then what does count? If it's my park, nothing counts. I'm like Disney. No one dies at my parks. How fast are we going here? Let's see. If I go like that... I need to get on the same height as the station. Okay, that is a 12-meter difference. Good. We'll just do that. And then that should line up. Yes. Oh, before we forget. Photo section. Now let's hope it doesn't go too fast. To the last turn. I'm kind of concerned. We'll see. Alright, this is a hell of a ride. And we go faster again. And faster. $220 kilometers per hour at the bottom there. And there's the booster again. Gotta love that sound. 251. Oh yeah, we're definitely going too fast in that turn. Someone said add boosters here, but I think I need the space to make the turns work. I think I need 2 more here. There we go. I can add 2 more boosters. So now this ride only has big boy turns. And it might still get excessive laterals. Let's see if it does. First, the second turn was already questionable. See how well it fares there. It seems to be fine. Actually, let's follow it. See how it does in the turns. Oh, I can rehire staff. Well, now I can't see how it does in the turns anymore, but it'll probably be fine. And some entertainers. Ah, that's good enough. Alright, now this is a proper roller coaster. Just going fast and fast and fast and fast. With only big boy turns. Because that's what life is all about. Going as fast as you can. Without any regard for your safety. I mean, what's safety really? Who needs safety? Do the whole queue underground. I like it above ground because we can see all the guests queuing. And there we go. That's connected. That's cursed. That's definitely not safe. Wow. Okay. Let's see if it also looks like that from other angles. Okay, so you can clearly see there is actually quite a bit of space under there. It just renders a bit weird. Can we also see it from this angle? Yeah, there is enough space. It just renders weird. Perfect connections. That gives the word head chopper a whole new meaning. Yeah, it does. How many trains do we have? 4 trains. That's a lot. That's perfect. So, well, we could have hit 5, but maybe I need a 1 tile longer station for that. Hang on, let me... We don't need those boosters. You just do photo section. And 2 tiles more of station. There we go, now we have 5 trains. And what shall we call it? How about Deadly Coaster of Super Death? Do you think that's an attractive name? Big Boy. I like that name a lot better. Big Boy is a good name. That's a good name. Now we'll have to wait until it goes around again until we see the stats, because I just changed it a little. Where is the Doom? I mean, I'm not Iskal, so I don't put Doom after everything. Imagine you're there at the station, suddenly... I mean, it's kind of like this queue line. You're there in the queue line, suddenly the coaster goes through it. Perfect timing, by the way, thank you. How fast does this boy go? The Crazy 8. It goes 230. Oh, this one goes faster. Don't know how fast it goes, but at least 250. Guests are not queuing for it yet. We also don't have a lot of guests. At this rate, we might need a part 3. It might be too extreme, by the way, considering those G's. 6 and minus 3. I think it's going to be too extreme. Like 11 or so. But we'll see. We do only have 8 drops, even though it's 4 kilometers long. It's an average speed of 109 kilometers per hour. Which is a lot. Top speed of 251. Highest drop height of 130 meters. That's actually roughly the same as King the Ka. So that's not that extraordinary. And the max speed is not that much higher than Formula Rossa. It's just that this coaster is still not entirely realistic. Just slightly unrealistic, you know, a little bit. It's the G-forces that do it. One of the supports is also glitching through the track. I don't know where, but I wouldn't be surprised. Because, yeah, that happens a lot. So intense that the results aren't coming back. Sometimes it takes a while. I don't know what exactly makes it take a long time. Well, generally, obviously, you know, having a lot of rides already makes it take a long time. Like, bigger parks take longer, but still, sometimes it takes an absurdly long time. Sometimes in the big park it's relatively fast. Sorry, I just dinged the mic. On the red-orange one. I can't really see it though. Drink some water. I'll drink some water. Someone asked me, by the way, why I made the cooldown at 17 minutes. Why wouldn't I? Okay, so it's 10.27. That's a fine intensity rating. Guests will go on it. No, but it's great, because it's 10 to the power minus 1 plus 4. So, it's perfect. Now 2 to the power 10 minus 1 plus 4. I messed that joke up. Well, not really a joke, half joke. Does the length of the waiting times have an influence on the guest? The attraction is not crowded. If they wait too long, they get pissed off, unless you put queue line TVs or entertainers in there. Other than that, might have some influence, I'm not exactly sure. Also divided by 100. Oh yeah, that as well. I forgot about that. I'm not really doing too well with that. My mind is still on the speed skating thing. I'm still constantly thinking about the SQL thing and how, if that will really be that easy. Currently it's not all that difficult working with the notepads. But I'm still at least gonna look into it. Ooh, we've unlocked 5 more roller coasters since I started this stream. We don't have a reverse freefall coaster yet, so let's build one. Ooh, it's gonna rain. I was thinking we're gonna build one across the entire thing, but I think we won't have enough height for that. Do you want to make it into an actual database? Well, I'm currently already doing that, but I'm using notepads. This probably isn't the best idea, according to some people in here. Okay, if we build it like here, is there a chance we can just build it through all the way? Let's give it a shot. So far, so good. Huh. Would you look at that? What? That's perfect! That's absolutely perfect. This is absolutely perfect. I used to make websites out of notepad databases because I could. Yeah, that's basically what I was doing as well. Well, the website building would come a little bit later, but still. Honestly, look at it. It's perfectly going over this hill. Like, it could not have been a single unit lower. Perfectly going over that coaster. I don't know if it's perfectly going under these, but at least quite closely going under them. It's the perfect height. Alright, once we're outside of the hill, we're going up. Come on, there we go. Bam! Let's go up as far as we can. I haven't reset the suspended coaster from the crash. I haven't. I thought I did. Oh, it's open, but no one's right. Oh, it's because I couldn't reset it yet, and I didn't do it afterwards. Because you can't reset a coaster when it's... There we go. I paused it so we wouldn't lose the queue line. You can't reset a coaster from crashing when it's still broken. The clipping cheat is not on. Disable clearance checks. No, no, no. Alright, let's see how tall, how high up it gets. Yeah. Test. Okay, 170, 180. Oh, we have, well, not that much space left. Is that the 180 meters tall? I think it was. I think I built until I couldn't. Yeah, then it takes a very long, slow walk back home. Now, this was all planned ahead, obviously. This perfect alignment. Because it's just too high of a coincidence, you know. There's no way I didn't plan that in advance. Who's with me? Who's with me with the conspiracy theory that I all planned that in advance? I mean, I know I didn't, but I must be lying, right? Because there's no way. Yeah, press X to doubt. Put some tinfoil hat. Fox, wait, why is it sponsored by McDonald's? It isn't. That's very blue. Brown fits nicely. Red, yellow. That was ugly yellow. Of ugly red. Like, this is proper McDonald's coasters. Although, lately McDonald's aren't really red-yellow anymore. They're more like green, brown, black. Bit like Starbucks. How about white? Oh, white looks nice. Yeah, that was probably the reason. But it wasn't ugly red. It was the Bordeaux red, which is the ugly red. But also a bit of the muted red, so it fits nice on some things. I hate how they changed their color scheme. I'm fine with it. Not that I really ever go to McDonald's, but the food is still good. So, yeah. You're real. Yes, I am. I'm not just an AI making Roller Coaster Tycoon videos. Hi, I'm a big fan from the US. Well, welcome to the live stream. I wanted to be invited to a chorizo party. Is that either a pun I'm missing or what's a chorizo party? My first live stream. Been following your streams on YouTube for a long time. Finally made a Twitter account to participate live. Well, welcome, Burger Stall. Hope you have a good time. Chorizo is Spanish sausage. I know. Oh, or is it a sausage party? Testing all sorts of chorizo. For me, will probably be nice. Okay, what coaster don't we have yet? I don't think we have a Leam yet. So let's build a Leam. So one annoying thing about extreme heights, which is also the point of the scenario, is the hills, which make it annoying to build stuff on. But that's kind of the point. So often I just build far away and I just build path to it later. Otherwise you kind of get stuck in your little area that you're in and it's not nice. Just do what I do and flatten it, but I don't want to flatten it. Yeah, Leam. I'm trying to think of different ways to say words to piss people off. Because for some reason people tend to get really winded up when you say words wrong. Like when you say GIF the wrong way, when you say it like GIF, which is absolutely terribly wrong. Now, how many people of you hate that? How many people of you well Englished? Ooh, perfect. GIF is wrong. No, GIF is right. Because the G, right, is from graphics. So it's GIF. Like, if it was pronounced graphics, it would be GIF, but it's from graphics. You should say GIF. I mean, like a GIFje, which it would be like a little GIF, is something that is sometimes said in Dutch. Yeah, I do love my graphics card. It's all yellow with brown spots. GIF. GIF is also our word for poison. Your i7 graphics card. Yeah, that's just some giraffes on the Interstate 7. Oh, let's go up. Oh, it's a processor. Oh, I said that for the graphics card. Well, that just tells you how little I know about that stuff. I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know much about computers. It's funny, because I am the tech guy in the family. And I can solve most of, you know, my mom's and stepdad's computer issues just fine. Mostly they're not terribly complicated issues anyway. But, you know, knowing actually how processors work and knowing what processors are good and stuff is not something I know a lot about. Like, I'll look into it when I need to, either for me or, you know, for my mom when she buys a new computer or whatever. And then I'll know what I need to know, but then I tend to forget. Mostly it's simple anyway, because you have a few important things like graphics card, processor and stuff, and you just look at some, like look at the highest numbers you can get for whatever price range. So it's not too difficult anyway. Like mom wants to spend 700 euros on a laptop, well, let's see what numbers we can get for that price range. And surprisingly high numbers, because we found one on sale. You could figure out what specs you have by going to your device manager. I probably could, but I can't really be bothered to. And of course we also look at all their numbers, you know, all the things, like does it need a CD drive or whatever. Like, my mom's last laptop she bought without consulting me, and that was quite a bad idea. Because she bought a laptop with a way too weak processor. And it got worn out quite fast, and she never could do the things she wanted to do on it. Like make books with photos and stuff. And also, for some reason, all the ports on her old laptop were at the back instead of the sides. Which was really just not pleasant to work with. Really annoying. What are the stats on this one? Oh, we don't have... I was not tested yet. So this time I picked a laptop for her. With her approval, of course. But now it doesn't have an SD card slot. Because I forgot to look at that. Ooh, that's probably extreme. But what laptop doesn't have an SD card? Like, really? But apparently that one doesn't. It's only been annoying once when we needed to upgrade the nav from the car, the navigation. We just used my stepdad's my laptop, which I had taken with me that day. Yeah, 3.13 lat, that's a bit too much. What happens if we slow down to like 93? Name a ride of your choice. Marcel's Chorizo Party, sure. Oh, now it doesn't make it. Well, that's still fine probably. Marcel's Chorizo Party. How far back? Oh no, it's gonna get stuck here, isn't it? Yeah, it's totally gonna get stuck. This is a problem. Like, it's not gonna make the next hill. No. Okay, what if we do like 101? What will it do at 101? Okay, still doesn't make it. What at 104? Do you already have an air-powered vertical coaster unlocked? I believe we already have one. My mom's last computer was a compact laptop with Windows Vista. Computer techs like me call this Windows Cancer. Yeah, I had Windows Vista once and it was terrible. It was overheating so much last time she used it, the glass table almost melted. That's very overheated. Yeah, I had Windows Vista once, and the only thing I remember about it is that it wasn't playing nice with any of the games I wanted to play. Okay, so what if we do this? I don't want it to make this, so we make this like 3 higher, 2 higher, 1 higher. Damn it. Where is it? There it is. I just need to... Can I build it now? No. Can I build it now? No. Can I build it now? No. I'll just erase this entire bit. There we go. Alright, we'll go to 111. That should do it. It should not make this. It does. That's not good. Oh, thank you for the bit. That's Skinny Child. Alright, we're just gonna make it even taller then. Let's see, I need 8. I'm just gonna... There we go, that should do it. Do we have enough? No, just 1 then. Okay, this is as high as we can go. Did it make this? It shouldn't. No, it doesn't. It might if there are some gaps, but that's still fine, because then it'll work fine still. Oh, it's still going way too fast through the corkscrew. That's the problem I wanted to solve, but it's still a problem. This entire coaster is a terrible idea. Let's just go back to what we had and just place the corkscrew in a different position or something. Just to fix that problem. I'm terrible at this game, aren't I? Does this line up? Oh, it almost lines up. With a little bump, it lines up. It's way too intense. Well, it might not be now, because I raised the corkscrew up a little bit, so it should go through it slower. Yeah, that should be fine. I think that wasn't lined up. What? It's not lined up. I should have realized. Look at that. We're not lined up. I should realize, because I just did and I just, you know, did that. But when you're lined up, it actually completes the ride. I'll show you what happens. Okay, that's now in the way. So that's good. You know, when you're lined up, it does that. But I don't think any of you noticed, or at least none of you said anything about it. The isometric perspective makes for some really good moments like that. Also, did I mention that I'm absolutely terrible at this game? Like, I'm the worst. Alright, I think the stats ought to be good now. How about some of the ugliest colors together? That's a hello. Well, this is just a big fleshy boy. I know Slime likes those. Let's not make a big fleshy boy. Ooh, that's a good color combination. My most used color for the supports is definitely black. Fleshy girl. I tend to call all my roller coasters boys. I think all my rides. I don't know why, but they're male. And I mean, calling a very big and tall rotodrop a girl is a bit... It doesn't really fit, does it? I mean, this is clearly a guy. I mean, this is still very small, but you know. At least from my experience. Bring some water. I will. Can we drown the first guest to ride the limb to celebrate its opening? We can. If it's not too intense. Roto drops are donuts. I mean, the card is. The tower itself isn't. Well, it's a shame none of that was a compact code. Otherwise, boy. Okay, I think we have the first ride. No, actually, the first rider is Mr. Hang on. That's one. I'll drown him when he gets off. Let's take a look at the stats. Ooh, 992 intensity. I like that. I like it when it's almost 10, but not quite. Only 647 excitement, but that's actually not that bad of a ratio for the limb. Alrighty. Let's build the queue line for this. And the exit line. There we go. Let's open it. Music. Alright, you are going bye-bye. Bye-bye. There's your little balloon, which is gone before you are even gone. Now that's cruel. We must almost have enough soft guest cap now, right? Like, the guest numbers have roughly recovered now. The park rating has recovered. I can't pass the scenario anymore anyway, but I can still cheat to pass the scenario. So, at the end of this stream, we have about as many guests as we did at the start. We didn't really make any progress. Alright, see ya here, Snell. The balloon feels like his soul escaping the body. It's not quite the end of the stream, by the way. But we won't be having too many more once I do stop the stream. I think. And even more cruel was that you would not even see him drowning thanks to the coaster in a way. I mean, I don't need to see my guests drowning. Just knowing that they are slowly dying is enough to get me off. Alright, let's connect this. And that. Did you want a quote, Max? There's a quote for you. Marcel's into some freaky stuff. Do you ever play people parks they submit in your Discord server? Every now and then. Not often. But sometimes. Marcel knows what he likes. I do, but that's not a thing that I watch for that. That was just me trying to be funny on stream. I think it worked. Ah, a big orange tower. Very Dutch. $104. Ah, we could probably do like 119. By the way, next Wednesday there most likely won't be a stream. Because I'll be going to a zoo. It's on King's Day. And I'll be going to a zoo with some of my family. I might do a stream on Thursday. Or I might be home on time and still do a stream. That's still possible. I don't know what time I'll be home. No, I'm not going to stream at the zoo. Like stream from my mobile phone. Nah. That's a terrible idea. Okay, how extreme is this baby? Still a lot of height left. Me at the zoo. I could replicate that. The very first YouTube video ever. I want to see the monkeys. Just look in the mirror. Thank you for the follow, that skinny child. And thank you for the sub, Corizo Party. We might be able to build a ghost train long enough to make it intense enough. Although, maybe not. Let's not try it. Gonna take too long. We can... Let's see, did I already have an air-powered coaster? Yes, I do. It's for the bigger one. Where to build it though? I'm kind of continue blocking myself in. The nice thing about this one is it doesn't have a height limit. You don't need a long station either. You never need more than 4 stations for your air-powered vertical coaster, because the longest train possible fits on 4 stations, 4 station pieces, and you can only have 1 train. It's got top section. Well, there's your quote, Max. And then we'll do that. Doesn't even have support costs. Well, that wouldn't have any costs anyway, because no monies in this park. But still. Alright. I wonder if this makes it. If there's like a good speed for this current layout. Otherwise I have to fiff around with the heights a little bit. I'll be fine. Okay, let's see. What do we get? 180. Why not? Why not go all out? Okay, that's way too fast. But let's see what we get anyway. Maybe it'll still be fine. I think it'll go too fast at the end though. But we'll see. Will it go faster than 160? Oh, it barely makes that. It goes exactly 160. Maybe it's fine. I think it might be fine. Do you have any YouTube videos explaining how to build underground? It's not particularly difficult. Just take a merry-go-round, press and hold shift, do that. Now it's underground. Or if you want to build track underground, you make sure that you have the land, you know, like that. Then you build track. Ooh, we're underground. That's how you do it. Easy. Okay. That's done. The music. How about modern? Whatever that is. Airport vertical coaster, there's no path leading from the exit. Yeah, I'm building that, you twat. Give me some time. Funnily enough, in tomorrow's video, I'm talking about that message. Well, that's not the main topic of the video, but I mention it. Ooh, the modern music is kind of a jam. Let's see what heights these paths are at. That's right tracks. That is path. Let's see, that's 31.5. And that's 27. Okay, that's almost the same level. There we go. Now we need to go like this way. Oh, that's good music. Hell yeah. Alright, let's see what other path we can find somewhere around there. There we go, we're going that way. The modern music reminds me of something I heard from a Flash game back in 2013. Yeah, there are a lot of Flash games with similar music to that, so that's very possible. I agree with you, kind of sounds a bit like that. It's not like Mini Clip Rally or something like that. 11:34, yeah, we definitely need to go a lot slower. How about 159? And then I'll lower this by 2. See what that does. Okay. A little bit faster then. Little bit faster still. Perfect. Alright, CMX. Oh, this is even good as well. Does it make the second one? It does not, unfortunately, but we can totally fix that. Just by doing this. There we go. Perfect. Let's fast forward a little bit. And let's see how it does on the last hill. Perfect as well. Alright, this seems to be a good layout. Yeah, we have a lot lower Gs, especially negative Gs. More than an entire point lower, so that should do the trick. Also, I hate how this is connected. It's not connected right. It needs to be connected to the other path. Otherwise, it's not on a thoroughfare. I don't like my entry lines to be on a dead end. Even though it didn't really have any negative effect like the way it was there, but I still don't like it. So I'm not gonna have it. How about some nice water spouts here? Perfect. Okay, do we have the stats yet? We don't. Let's use bench warmer. Perfect. Lots of the benches and the bins. This is, by the way, this is easily my worst playthrough of Extreme Heights. I mean, I failed it. I don't remember the last time I did a seemingly normal playthrough of Extreme Heights and didn't make it. Yeah, it's a very useful plugin, the bench warmer. If you're lazy. I kind of consider it cheating, but I don't mind cheating a little bit on live streams, because I'm not boasting that I, you know, completed the parks. I'm just having fun. Oh, it's still too extreme. Well, 1033 is fine. It's a little bit too extreme, but guests will ride it, so it's fine. That's my philosophy anyway. Let's make this. Ooh, I know. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. This is properly baby colored now. Are you blind yet? Wee. This is properly bright. Is your baby yellow? Yes, it is. A proper art masterpiece. Yeah, am I right? Oh, we need just 1,000 more guests. But it's flattening out, probably because we've hit the soft guest cap again. Which is always annoying. You just need a lot of rides to get to the soft guest cap. Now, in parks with money, you can advertise to get around that. As long as you're allowed to advertise, which you are in most parks. But there's no money here. Which is actually annoying, because you can't advertise. It's like Age of Empires. You have the bones for the Huns, which means you don't need to build houses. Which saves you wood, it saves you time. If you forget to make houses, it doesn't matter, because you don't get pop capped. But at a high level, that quote-unquote bonus it's more like a downside. Because you can't build houses, walls out of houses, which pro players do a lot. And it's similar here, that having no money is sometimes a downside because you can't advertise. At least I would consider it a downside. I mean, it's better than the screen transmissions in StarCraft 2. SC2 is StarCraft 2, right? Where it sometimes goes from black to bright white. Oh, that's very white. Very bright. Does it annoy you when I have a perfectly good corner, but I don't put the information kiosk in the corner? Or have you never thought about it and are you annoyed by it now because I have pointed it out? Which would mean I have done my job well. Yes, good. Yes. Ah, you are annoyed. Nice. The Giga Coaster in the background. Just going fast and fast and fast. Hang on, let's put it on wait for full load. Let's see how fast it goes with guests. So, without it reached 250. Let's see how fast we reach with guests. Shouldn't take too long to load. Quite a few guests in the queue line. Ah yes, big boy. Yeah, he's the biggest boy. I love you, man, but I can't stand the way you say Giga Coasters. What's wrong with Giga Coaster? Like, that's how you say it. At least that's the best I can do. Alright, there we go. Let's see how fast we get. I mean, on the boosters the top speed is still 217, but on the hills down we might go faster. Like, we'll lose less speed in these areas. So in other areas where we wouldn't reach top speed again after boosters, we'll reach a higher speed. Like here, for example. Okay, we went 220 without guests at the bottom here. Let's see how fast we go with guests. 234, that's quite a bit different. Let's see how fast we go here. 240 something, that's still not the top speed. The top speed was here, I believe. 259, that's 8 kilometers per hour faster. Do it in a Dutch accent to annoy him more. Oh, you mean like Kika Coaster? That's all the Dutch I can do. I mean, you also have the literal Dutch pronunciation, which is like giga. Well, achtbaan would it be. Like Giga Coaster. What kind of positive G's? Not that extreme, only 605. A little bit higher with the guests, but still, 605 is not bad. You know, you just got a little bit of a grey out. It's fine. What were the stats of the big orange tower? 982, so it's about the limit of the speed it can have before it gets too extreme. Rain, yes, we'll give away a lot of umbrellas. Everything's given away here, right? Why aren't there any guests that just take advantage of that and take everything and then sell it back home? Or is in this universe money just not a thing at all? Is everything just infinite? How do things work? I mean, money is infinite anyway if they have cash machines, which I talked about in a video. The Roller Coaster Tycoon universe is weird. I think actually the Enterprise gets intense enough the guests might still ride it. Most confusing game lore I've ever heard. There's probably more confusing. Maybe even within Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, in Minecraft, like, how are villagers able to build like nice highs and stuff, but not able to open a fence gate. Stuff like that. The true cause of inflation is amusement park. Yes, it is. Will the guests ever go on a maze in this park? No, you can't get it intense enough. It only goes like 2.5 intensity. It's not very intense, is it? Interestingly, this actually... Oh! More rotations! Hell yeah. Okay, test it. This should have quite a high intensity rating. And it's an easily spammable ride. That's nice. Let's see where we're at. We're at 3,600 guests now. That goes up quite steadily, which is good. Put candy style on one of the coasters. I could. How about on this one? It's already pink. No, obviously this one. The modern style is a jam, but candy style fits this one the best. Wait, how do we not have test results? It's done testing. Like, it just did a full test run. How do we not have test results? Wild West best song. Wild West is really good. I think an entirely baby-themed Extreme Heights could be pretty fun to make. I would probably be bored of it after a few rides. Honestly, one of the problems is you don't really have much baby-theme stuff in the game. A lot of custom stuff you would have to do, which would probably be annoying. Like, you can easily make something hellish by just doing that. Like, welcome to hell. That's easy. So that's fun to do. 775 intensity. That's easily enough for guests to ride it with the intensity preference in this park. So that's good. A forest fire. Yes, I can prevent forest fires, but I can also make them. The yellow pink coat does remind me of vanilla and raspberry vla. Vla is custard, by the way. Yes, kind of does. Laughs in California. In California, anything can make a forest fire. Like, you can even just think the wrong way and it'll spark a forest fire. What are the stats on this baby, actually? 962, that's also at the limit. Well, not at the limit, but quite close to the limit for too intense. Marcel's arson around. Yeah, I like to arson. In video games. Okay, I think that's enough. I was convinced we would be finishing this one early on in the stream, but we still haven't finished it. Technically, we can't finish it anymore, but I want to get to 4,500 guests at some point. But we might have to do that next time. So, no, let's not override it. Let's go with part 2. There we go. Let's see who I can raid. See who's online. Anyone I follow that's playing Rollercoaster Tycoon? No. Thank you for the nice stream, by the way. I had fun. We didn't have as many people as usual, but we still had quite a few people. No, I got about 400 extra guests, Cringe Bro. Let's see, this is not English. Alright, let's raid Mickle Mackle. He's a nice guy. Come on, mute. There we go. It was a cool stream. Yeah, maybe even a very useful stream for me. If SQL is gonna be a lot better for me than notepads. I mean, notepads will work. SQL might be better. It's all about the database. Anyway, thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Have a good night.